Hey everyone! So I want to take a few minutes in this video to explain how attendance works for online classes. If you have taken an online class here at ATA in the past, then you probably already know how attendance works. But one useful thing that I'll be talking about in this video is how my particular attendance quizzes work. So you still might want to pay attention and listen to the rest of the video. For those of you who have not taken an online class yet, this information is super important, so you definitely want to watch the video. There is a written version, a typed out version underneath the video that you can read through that explains how attendance works. And then underneath that, you'll see a chart that lists each week of the term, and it actually tells you the specific dates. So it tells you the date that week 1 begins and the date that it ends. The date that week 2 begins and the date that it ends. So that information can come in very handy as well, just to make sure that you know for sure which week we're in. But in terms of attendance, when you take a class on campus, the class is scheduled to meet a certain day of the week for a certain amount of hours. And you know that if you show up for class that week, you get marked present. If you don't show up for class that week, you get marked absent. It's pretty easy. But how does it work in an online course when you are responsible for doing everything at some point during the week? You get to decide when you're going to go through the lessons and when you're going to complete the homework items. You've got 7 days. So how do we keep track of attendance? Well, each week begins on Monday and ends on Sunday. During that 7-day period, you have to submit at least one graded item in order to be counted present for that week. Now, there are always multiple items due that week by Sunday night. So the goal is to have all of them submitted during that 7-day period, but sometimes that can't always happen. Sometimes you'll have to turn things in late. That's fine. But you have to submit at least one graded item during those 7 days to make sure you're marked present. One way that we try to help with that is we have a weekly attendance quiz. When you go to that week's module, the only thing you're going to see listed is the attendance quiz. So when you go to week 1 and you click on week 1 module, the only thing that's listed underneath right now is the week 1 attendance quiz. If you look at week 2, same thing, just the attendance quiz. You have to take the attendance quiz in order to see the lessons and the homework assignments for that week. So that's your first incentive for making sure you do the attendance quiz every week, because you have to in order to see the actual work for the week. The attendance quiz is very easy. It is a 1-question quiz. It does not get factored into your overall grade, but it does count as a graded item to trigger your attendance. For the first 2 weeks of the course, the attendance quiz will consist of 1 true or false question. This is the week 1 attendance quiz, true or false. This is the week 2 attendance quiz, true or false. Easy. But in week 3, the question changes. So for weeks 3 through 10, the question becomes a short answer, a written response. And the question is, what is your current grade in this course, and are you missing any work? So starting in week 3, you're going to have to go look at your grade and see if you're missing any assignments, and that will be your answer for the attendance quiz. So, little extra step you'll have to take from week 3 on, but still pretty easy, You submit the quiz, and then you have access to the work for that week. This will help make sure that you trigger your attendance. It'll help make sure that you understand what your grade is from week to week. So it's kind of a win-win. Now, I will send out reminders on Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, for anyone who has not yet triggered their attendance for that week. So I will help you in that respect. But hopefully the incentive of, having to submit the quiz in order to see the work for that week, I would suggest taking the attendance quiz early in the week. Take it on Monday or Tuesday. That way you can at least see the lessons and the homework assignments for that week. And you can plan accordingly. Because the worst thing is to think that you're going to have an easy week, and then so you wait until Saturday or Sunday morning to do the attendance quiz for that week, and then then you see the lessons and the homework assignments, and you're like, oh man, okay, I don't have enough time to do all of this before it's due. I'm going to have to turn some of it in late. Sure, I'll accept it late, but at least, if you're taking the attendance quiz earlier in the week, you'll have a better idea of what's expected of you in terms of the lessons and the homework assignments for that week, and you can plan accordingly and perhaps not have to turn things in late. Right? So try to remember to do the attendance quiz like on Monday or Tuesday of the week, but just know that come Sunday, I will also send out messages to anyone who has not yet triggered their attendance for the week. Got it? Also, please keep in mind that your attendance is separate from your grade. So if you have a particularly busy week, or let's say you're sick, your kids are sick, maybe you're going on vacation, and you know you're not going to be able to do the work for that week. Again, try to at least do the attendance quiz so that you can get marked present. If you have to turn the work in late, that's fine. But at least try to get marked present for the week. Now, something happens and you can't even do that, you'll get marked absent, but you still want to come back and do that attendance quiz and do the work for that week, even if it's late. Because your attendance is one thing, your grade is something completely separate, right? So try to keep up with everything. It's just good for everybody. If you can make sure you're taking the attendance quiz early in the week and then planning out your week and getting everything submitted by the due date, that's just good for everybody. But I do know sometimes life happens in various ways. So at least try to get the attendance quiz in each week so that you can be marked present. Submit the work late so that your grade doesn't suffer. Got it? All right. If you have any questions about attendance, feel free to reach out. After a couple weeks, though, most students get the hang of it. But I am always here if you have any questions. Otherwise, you are free to move on to the next item.